Have you ever thought about what it feels like to have your biggest dream stolen? A dream you've built with your own hands, the one you've sacrificed everything for, only to see it taken away by someone else? This is the story of a woman who did not just create her dream from scratch, but who, after watching it stolen, silently planned a revenge so clever it would be remembered forever. This is the story of a woman who will show you how silence can be the deadliest weapon and how patience can turn into the most powerful form of justice, because she knew the biggest fear of a thief is to have their truth revealed. This story isn't for the faint of heart. If you think betrayal can't rip a soul in half, wait till you see what silence can create. You're about to witness something dangerous, raw, and unforgettable. Don't blink. The lights were too bright, the applause too loud, but behind every cheer was a lie, stitched neatly into every polished smile in the room. And there, in the corner, unnoticed, unwanted, and uninvited, someone stood like a loaded gun no one saw coming. 3 years. That's how long it took to build the perfect revenge. Not just loud, angry chaos. No, something colder. Something smarter. Something that would gut the enemy where it hurt the most. Reputation. Once, there was trust. A vision born from nothing. An idea that could have changed the game for women who had been left behind by the world. An idea that came from pain, passion, and purpose. But someone else saw profit in it. Someone who smiled too much, listened too well, and then walked away carrying everything. The concept, the code, the roadmap, even the pitch deck. Every single bit of it. Stolen. And the worst part? The thief didn't just steal the work. The thief rewrote the story. Made it seem like the real creator was unstable, emotional, unreliable. Just another starry-eyed dreamer who couldn't handle the pressure. The door was slammed shut, and for most people, that was the end. But endings are just clever beginnings. No one saw what happened in those 3 years after the fall. There were no interviews, no Instagram posts, no grand comebacks. Just silence. Long, patient, burning silence. But under that silence, something monstrous was being built. Line by line, brick by brick, a better version, smarter. Stronger, sharper. This wasn't just an idea anymore. It was a weapon. A digital empire designed not only to empower the people who were left behind, but to destroy the one who betrayed everything. And tonight was execution night. The room was filled with tech giants, media people, investors who thought they were gods, but none of them saw the storm walking quietly between them. Calm face, calculated steps. Every movement had meaning. Every second was a countdown, because while the thief stood on stage, accepting awards for work that wasn't theirs, something was coming. A screen behind the stage flickered once. Then again. And then, the lights went out for exactly 4 seconds. When they came back on, everything changed. The thief froze. Everyone else looked confused. But on every phone, every tablet, every live stream, a video began playing. 3 years ago, an idea was stolen, a name was buried, a future was taken. But this silence was never weakness, it was evolution. And tonight, the truth speaks. Proof poured across the screens, original code time-stamped, conversations recorded, voice notes saved. The kind of evidence that makes reputations bleed. The crowd gasped. Some shouted, some just stared, and through it all, the creator didn't move, just watched. The storm had landed, no yelling, no courtroom, just digital justice, engineered to perfection. Phones started ringing, reporters scrambled, investors whispered. The thief tried to speak, but no words came. And just like that, power shifted. But this wasn't the end. This was just checkmate. Not the final blow, because something bigger was still coming. the world had gone still. For a moment, time seemed to freeze, suspended in the chaos that rippled through the room. No one moved. No one spoke. The sound of gasps and murmurs filled the air as the video continued to roll across the screens. The thief, standing tall moments ago, now seemed to shrink, the weight of the truth pressing down on him with crushing force. His eyes flickered between the screen and the crowd, but there was nowhere to hide. The truth had found its home, and it was hanging in the air like a storm ready to break. But that wasn't the most dangerous part. The most dangerous part was that the storm wasn't done yet. Zara stood at the back of the room, invisible to the world around her, watching it all unfold. The perfect silence. The way the betrayer was caught in his own web of lies, unraveling in front of everyone. She had been patient. Her time had come. But this wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. She could feel the weight of the stares on her back, the whispers growing louder. The reporters, the investors, the men who once thought of her as nothing more than a flash in the pan, they were all scrambling now. But it wasn't her that they feared now. It was what she had built. Xavier. The platform she had designed, with nothing but her mind and a fierce resolve to not be forgotten. It wasn't just about the idea. It was about control, power, a new way to do things, a better way. She walked through the crowd, her steps measured, calm, even as everything seemed to fall apart around her. Ryan's face was white, his mouth opening and closing like a fish gasping for air. But the cameras? They didn't care. They were focused on Zara now. The whispers grew louder. Some were questioning how this could be possible. How could someone, after so many years, have everything? The pitch decks, the legal documents, the blockchain records, everything. And how had they not seen it before? How had they fallen for the lies? But Zara was done talking. She didn't need to explain herself to anyone anymore. She didn't need to justify why she had spent 3 years in the shadows building. No one had seen the late nights, the sleepless hours coding until her eyes bled. No one had seen the struggle she had endured, how the tech world had chewed her up and spit her out. She didn't owe them anything. And when Rayon, in a desperate attempt to save face, tried to make a public statement, Zara raised her hand, silencing him before he could speak another word. "No," she said, her voice cutting through the noise like a knife. "This time I'm not here to be your villain. You're not the one being erased. I am not going to let you rewrite my story anymore." The room went dead silent. Ryan's gaze shifted from her to the screen, then back at the crowd. The world had flipped, and he was now the one on trial. But it was too late. The storm had already come. She turned to leave, not sparing him another glance. There was nothing more to say. Outside, the chaos continued, but Zara remained calm. Her phone buzzed in her pocket, but she ignored it. The real battle was already over. She had already won. Her startup, Xavier, had already gone live, and its response was nothing short of explosive. Investors who had once shunned her were now begging for meetings. Women across the country were already signing up, eager to take control of their futures. Her eyes focused on the horizon as she walked away, the early morning light just beginning to break through the skyline. The city was waking up, but this time, it was different. Her story had been written, not by the hands of those who sought to destroy her, but by her own. And no one would ever erase it again. The storm was over, but the world had just started to feel the aftershocks, and they would never forget her name. And just like that, the game was over. Betrayal, greed, and lies, all brought to light. But in the end, it wasn't just about revenge. It was about taking back control. It was about proving that no matter how many times you're knocked down, the real power lies in rising again, stronger, smarter, and unstoppable. This story isn't just hers. It's the story of anyone who's ever been underestimated. It's the story of everyone who's been told you can't, only to show the world, watch me. So remember this, no matter how quiet the storm may be, when it strikes, it changes everything.